Okay, I get it. You want more from life. You want to be more colorful, outstanding, just you. But something stops you. The fear of others' opinions. The question in the back of your head doesn't leave you alone. What will they think? I was like this too. I wasted years living like that, and honestly, it ruined me. I held back on my dreams, my goals, my entire personality because I was afraid of judgment. A lot of the things I wanted to do, I didn't do because I was too bothered by the opinions of others. I was afraid to wear the outfits I actually wanted to wear to school. For many years, I didn't pursue content creation, although I really wanted to, but I was too afraid my friends would laugh at me. I wanted to start a business already when I was 16, but I couldn't handle the thought, what will others think? I didn't pursue my true desires, interests, and dreams because I was too afraid others would judge me, laugh at me, or see me fail. So for many years, I stood in the line, do not stand out. But now I'm here, pursuing my dreams, doing the F I want to do, not caring. But what changed when just a few years ago I was so bothered? Well, in this video, I will share with you how I stopped caring and came out of my shell. I'll help you to care less and you'll gain the confidence to be you, pursue your dreams, and not give an F about what others think, because it's totally possible. I've done it, so you can do it too. And let me tell you, it's life-changing. And I'm not here to tell you just stop caring, because if that advice would have helped, a lot of us would not care anymore. I'm here to share with you my most valuable tips that I've gained during these years when I've been working on myself that I've noticed have helped me the most. So here's the thing. Since a young age, I loved wearing outfits that were just something more than just a simple t-shirt and jeans. I loved styling, and the whole outfit creation process brought me a lot of pleasure. Yes, I used to be that girl. But oftentimes, I didn't wear what I actually wanted to wear because I was too afraid of others' opinions. But then, as the years passed, I reached a point where I got a little bit mad with myself. Like, why can't you just wear what you want to wear? So one day, I just decided that, you know what, I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. So I did. I showed up in school in the outfit that I had put together that morning that wasn't just simple t-shirt and jeans. And I was mentally so prepared to get eyes on me, see others giggling, and giving me that TF are you wearing look. But you know what happened? While I was mentally prepared for the worst possible scenarios, the opposite happened. I got compliments. Others told me they loved my outfits. My friends' little sisters came ask advice from me. So here's my first tip to stop caring what others think of you. Although the story that I just shared with you is simple and relatively small, the point is that no matter whether it's about small things such as wearing a certain outfit to school or the bigger things such as pursuing your dreams, we are afraid of others' opinions because in our heads we are usually prepared for the worst possible scenarios. We catastrophize, and this applies to the fear of failure but also to the fear of others' opinions and judgment. But it's not your fault though, it's just our brain works that way, and it's actually called a chimp mode. Our brain's primary task is to keep us alive. So others' judgment to your brain feels like danger, because in those hunter and collector times, if you were to be kicked out from the tribe, that would mean danger for you because surviving alone wasn't really possible back then. So we might have evolved as a society, but our brains haven't evolved that much. So whenever we are pushing ourselves from our comfort zones, obviously our brain is going to come up with all the possible scenarios that could be danger for us, such as others' opinions, others' judgment, etc. But now that you know this, it's easier to fight it. The fact is that way too often, when we tend to catastrophize about things, the complete opposite happens. Usually, we get a positive response. For example, when I thought that I will die in humiliation because others will judge my outfit, whereas actually the complete opposite happened. I got compliments, people loved it. So way too often, we are prepared for the worst possible scenarios, which is really sad because exactly that is what stops us from doing the things we actually want to do. Which brings me to my next tip to stop caring what others think of you. You really need to understand this, because understanding this will set you free. When someone judges you, if they judge you, it's because they're jealous of you, because you have the courage to show up as yourself, which they want to, but they can't, so it drives them crazy. Because notice how it's always these people who don't have what you have who go around judging others. They barely like themselves, and because they're so miserable, drowning in their negativity, they must share it with others, and they pick you as their target because, hey, the F are you doing? Stand in the lane, like others do. Which brings me to this one analogy that I came up with for you to help you to understand the psychology behind this, why others judge you if they do, which helps you to really stop caring for good. Imagine you're in a grocery store, standing in a queue, and then someone decides to stand next to you. almost as if they're going to go next before you. Do you feel that? You get triggered immediately. And then you start thinking, what is this person doing? He's not going to go next, is he? Then you might even say, hey, we're having a queue here, and I was here first. Same psychology. Some people just get upset about the grocery store queues, and other people get upset about people who show up as themselves. But here's the thing, the amount of people who care to judge you is actually quite small. A big realization for me was when I realized that a lot of the people actually don't give an F. We think they do, but actually they're way too busy to give an F. And those who aren't, well, doesn't that tell enough about them? I see these people as Agent Smiths from the Matrix movie. They are controlling that everyone is in order, standing in their lanes, and not expanding beyond the norm. Which brings me to my next tip to stop caring what others think of you. And this is the most important thing you need to understand from this video. One day, not so long time ago, when I was washing dishes, I was so in my head. I was doubting myself, judging, and so freaking bothered. And it was in that moment when I realized that I'm the problem. I'm the judge. So here's the thing. Most of the times when you're afraid of others' judgment, it's not them, it's you who's judging. You judge others for the things you judge yourself. Thus, you're afraid others will judge you for this too. And it's usually the things you don't allow yourself. For example, I judge others for being loud. But it's because I don't allow myself to be loud. And even more, I don't dare to be loud. And actually, recognizing these are the places for growth. And here I'm gonna share with you one picture which is just so perfect for this topic. I don't know who created this, so I cannot credit anyone. I just found it on the internet. But if you do know who created it, please credit it in the comments. So here's the picture. The whole world is a reflection of your state and thinking. And when you realize this, you realize that no one is bothering you. It's you fighting yourself. All the opinions and judgment you're so afraid of are all your own opinions and you judging yourself. It's all in your head. So quoting a Matrix movie,
free your mind.
But with this being said, understand that this goes also the other way around. So others judge you from their own perspective. From their point of view, they think it's weird. But the nice thing about this is that it's their truth, not yours. So the key here is to become less judgmental in general, which brings me to my next tip to stop caring what others think of you. Part of the reason why we're so judgmental is because we're conditioned to be so. Notice how we always judge the people who stand out, not the ones who stand in the lane. We're literally socially conditioned to judge people who decide to do their own things, decide to walk their own path. But at the same time, notice how we stop judging when we become the weirdos amongst the weirdos who are now the normal ones. So if you're surrounded by people who work 9 to 5, becoming an entrepreneur might be weird, and vice versa, if you're surrounded by entrepreneurs, going to work 9 to 5 might seem a bit weird. So knowing this, it doesn't make sense to care because you'll always be weird to someone. You cannot be everyone's cup of tea, and honestly, you shouldn't even want to strive to be, because the most respectable thing you can do for yourself is to not try to be everyone's cup of tea. We are literally conditioned to fit in, to be everyone's cup of tea. And honestly, this topic makes me so sad and emotional, and I could even cry, but I'm not going to. We are literally born on this earth, everyone unique, colorful. But then we grow up gray, because the world we live in punishes us for being colorful. We have created a world where we dim others' lights. We judge others for being just themselves. So all of you who are watching this video, the best thing you can do to make this world a better place is to stop judging others for being themselves. Let people live the way they want to live. Let people be themselves, as long as they're not hurting anyone. But with this being said, it still doesn't mean that no one else will ever judge you, unless everyone's gonna see this video. But assuming that not everyone is going to see this video, others will still judge you. But it is fully in your control, in your power to choose whether you let it influence you, whether you let it stop you. Because here's the thing, as I mentioned that I wanted to pursue content creation, I wanted to start my own business, wear the outfits I wanted to wear, just be fully me, but I didn't because I was too afraid of others' judgment and others' opinions. And if I could go back in time and give myself one piece of advice, it will be this. It is not worth it to care about what others think of you, because the unpleasant fact is that we are all going to die. And since we are all going to die, no one is going to remember you. No one in their graves will remember the times you did something silly because they're dead. So do yourself a favor and start living before it's too late. And I'm not saying this to give you an anxiety, but to remind you of our mortality, which we very often tend to forget. We take our life for granted, and it's only when we lose our health we realize that we are not immortal. It's way too often these scenarios when someone ends up into hospital with an infarct and they survive that, and only then they start living when they faced death. And it doesn't have to be that way. You can start living now. And one way is to remind yourself of your mortality, because it helps you to detach from all these earthly things that don't really make sense, such as caring what others think of you. Because look, hear me out. I wasted enough years worrying about what others think of me, sacrificing on my dreams, and because of that, I have regrets. Regrets about not living my life to the fullest, not doing the things I actually wanted to do because of some high school friend's opinion who I never even talk to anymore. Had I not cared, I might have achieved something great already. So do yourself a favor and go achieve something great over caring about someone's opinion. This pain of regret allowed me to reach a point where I don't want to live my life anymore caring what others think of me, to then only realize in my grave that, damn, why did I care? I want to live my life for me, not for others. And since I've reached this point, I never been more free. It is truly freedom to be able to do what you want and not care about others' opinions. So why I'm telling you this is that at times the only way to find bravery to overcome what you fear the most is through pain. And for that pain to be bigger than your fear. Once you free yourself from the fear of others' opinions, that's when you start living your best life. Of course, I'm not gonna say that I'm immune to this. Of course, sometimes it crosses my mind, but I don't let it stop me. So, assuming we only live once, and even if we don't remember our previous lives. So, please go and live this life for yourself, not for others. And to do this, yes, to a certain extent, you just need to stop caring. But there's a better way to do this. Which brings me to my next tip to stop caring what others think of you. Now that I analyze back the person who I was then, one of the most reasons why I used to care so much was the lack of self-acceptance. I was insecure and I didn't have that strong foundation from within that you can rely on, which is only possible to achieve when you have fully accepted yourself. Before, I used to be afraid of presentations. I was afraid to show up as myself with my interests, my thoughts, and my opinions, etc. I was the girl who was afraid to lift my hand in a class because what if my answer is not 100% correct, although it was 100% correct? And what I have realized is that this comes from a place of self-centeredness. You think that the whole world has their eyes on you, whereas actually they don't. People are way too busy with themselves. They're busy with their own performance to perform for others. And one more reason why self-acceptance is important, because it helps you to develop that inner confidence, which is actually a cheat code if you don't want to have people judging you in the first place. I don't know if you have noticed, but there is this weird thing that when you are insecure and you're not like 100% standing behind your decision, and then you do something, people usually judge you. Whereas when you are 100% standing behind your decision, you're so confident in yourself and you go and do it, others usually don't judge you. And even if you mess up, when you're super confident in yourself, people usually find it funny, like in a good way. And this has to do with the energy you vibrate. You literally vibrate confidence, and when others feel this, they don't have the need to even judge you. The only people who judge you in this state are the people who are attacked by your confidence. But it also works the other way around. When you are confident in yourself, you don't even care about others' opinions anymore, because you have that inner pillar to rely on and no one can shake you anymore. When I learned to accept myself fully and I developed that inner confidence, I noticed that I didn't care anymore because I had that strong inner pillar to rely on. Because here's the thing, for a person with a healthy self esteem, with strong self confidence, it shouldn't matter someone's random person's opinion. It shouldn't matter. So accept yourself, your flaws, your strengths, love yourself. Of course, this is not an overnight thing, it happens gradually. Which brings me to my next advice to stop caring what others think of you, and this tip is going to end it for good. From my outfit example, once I conquered myself and I just showed up in the outfit I actually wanted to wear in school, something changed in my head. I got over my fear. I wasn't afraid anymore. I didn't care. So here's the thing to stop caring what others think of you for good. You simply just need to get over your fear. And the only way to do that is to push yourself to do what you fear the most. Do what scares you until it doesn't. Whether it's to start posting like an influencer, start your own business, become a content creator, wear what you want, or moving to farmlands, buying 3 cows, and living slow life. The only way to gain the courage to start showing up as the true you is by doing it once. And if it makes things easier for you, do it quiet first. Tell no one about it. When I started a YouTube channel, I told no one about it, only like a few people. I needed that for my own mental peace. But now that I've been doing this, I don't care anymore. And honestly, I don't understand why did I even care in the first place. Because the best thing you can do for yourself is start showing up as you, because you are doing this life for you. Which brings me to my next tip to stop caring what others think of you. Some of you might know that I've been dancing since a kid, but I have a love and hate relationship with dancing. Back in the days, I wanted it to be my profession, so I applied to study it, but I was rejected because I didn't receive the proper training. So as a result, my broken heart decided to quit dancing for good. But a couple years ago, I picked it up again, and this year my goal is to improve majorly my technique. So I applied to one advanced jazz group where I know that they train technique and a lot. And I was accepted, to my surprise. But I knew it's going to be a walk of shame. For those of you who don't know, when you train technique in a dance class, you usually do it from corner to corner, a few dances at a time. So if you mess up, if you cannot keep up, others can see it. And I knew it's going to be humiliating because my technique, it just sucks. But the only way to get better is by training. And even better if you can train with someone who's better than you. So there I was, completely effing up the technique combo. I wasn't keeping up and I started to panic a bit. I was like, oh my god, others see me messing up, and what will this teacher think? What a mistake she has done choosing me to train with them. And I could have totally lost it, get humiliated, and quit after the first class and never show up there again. Which did cross my mind, I'm not gonna lie, but instead I calmed myself down and I decided to continue despite the little humiliation, because I'm doing this life for me. I want something from my life, in this case to learn a certain skill, and if others will laugh at my process, then let them. Which they, by the way, even weren't. Maybe a few girls were smiling a bit, but I just smiled back because again, I'm doing it for me. I know what I'm doing, and most importantly, why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know what's important to me, and only that should matter. So to stop caring what others think of you, know your why and what's important to you. And every time when the fear of others' opinions or judgment is getting into your head, remember your why and what's important to you, even in the most humiliating situations. Remember, you're doing this life for you. And when you start showing up as the true you, that's when you also find your people. They will literally be pulled to you. That happened with me too. Throughout my teenage years, I was friends with girls who weren't my true friends because I wasn't true with myself. Once I started to show up as myself, that's when I started to attract my people, and suddenly I didn't feel like a weirdo anymore. And they helped me to develop further to the person I am today, to get rid of my limitations and develop this inner strength just because I was in the right bubble with the right people. So my next tip to stop caring what others think of you is to surround yourself with the right people, with quality people, and how to find quality friends I share in this video.